The 2.0 version of the Ferrari SF-24 car is ready. At the Imola circuit, the venue for the 7th round of the 2024 Formula One season, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz will benefit from a performance boost. This is the hope that has to be confirmed on track in just a few days, because in the top tier of motorsport, nothing can be taken for granted, especially when competing at the highest levels. The updated Italian car has seen significant modifications in the side pod intake area, as we have pointed out in the previous videos. To free up additional space in the undercut, the engineers in Maranello have adopted a solution from Red Bull. We are referring to the so-called shark inlet, which is now present on the Ferrari. This measure aims to enhance the outwash effect of the car thanks to the precious cubic centimeters gained in the undercut, a crucial area under the current Formula One regulations. Besides this, there are some minor updates, such as cobra-shaped vortex generators located behind the cockpit, aerodynamically purposed mirror supports, a large opening on the engine cover, and the removal of the S-duct. As for the floor, we have to wait until next Friday. Regarding the rear wing, a reshaping of the wingtips should be noted. This small change aims to gain some downforce without losing efficiency. This innovation is inspired by Mercedes, who often tests with these configurations in order to optimize the car over the weekend. The floor used by Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz during the Fiorano test seemed identical to the previous version, except for the attachment points of the longitudinal fences. The new major component is therefore expected to be introduced on the banks of the Santerno River, with specifics likely showing new shapes in various parts: inlets, venturi channels in the keel, floor edge, and sharp edge. We just have to wait to know more. In addition to all this, an important change will take place in the garage marked with the number 16. We refer to the promotion of Bryan Bozzi as Charles Leclerc's race engineer. The engineer, a graduate of the University of Bath located in Claverton Down, UK, has been working at Scuderia Ferrari for a long time. We are talking about a young man of clear Italian origins who is embarking on a new adventure. And it is no small challenge to accompany the Monegasque talent of Ferrari, as the two will be in close contact via radio in all Formula One sessions, starting with the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix weekend. Xavier Marcos Padros has made history. The Spanish engineer who has been with Charles Leclerc since 2019 has been moved to a different department, and he will therefore bring his vast experience to other areas of the Italian team, according to the official statement published by Ferrari on its social media accounts. Taking his place is Bryan Bozzi, who will sit on the Ferrari pit wall from the 7th round of the 2024 Formula One racing season. Bryan Bozzi, an engineer dedicated to the development and performance of the car, was already in contact with the Monegasque driver. This means the two have already worked together extensively over the weekends and know each other perfectly. Bryan Bozzi is studying radio communication, which he has always listened to during the sessions. It's just a matter of putting it into practice and learning the directives, with which, through alphanumeric strings, various settings are ordered for the driver to use while driving. These settings include different types of commands such as internal combustion unit mappings, hybrid system, braking system, differential, tires, and much more. We have been following Ferrari's onboard races for about 5 seasons, so we know very well how crucial the connection between the race engineer and the driver is. In addition to the various types of commands mentioned earlier, suggesting ways to improve performance is crucial. This refers to handling techniques in order to maximize the car's performance or simply advice on how to fully exploit the car's features, in this case, the updated version of the Ferrari. Then there's the whole strategic management aspect, where Bryan Bozzi will need to remain calm, like Carlos Sainz's race engineer Riccardo Adami, to stay clear-headed and provide the driver with confidence. Charles Leclerc, like the rest of his Formula One colleagues, can often be prey to contrasting emotions while driving, which can easily alter his state and affect his performance at that moment. Therefore, having the situation under control will be fundamental. It's not up to us to judge Bryan Bozzi's work, although given our many years of experience with Ferrari, we will undoubtedly form an opinion on his performance as the season progresses. His work will begin from the very important Italian weekend at the Imola circuit, where Ferrari, with the evolution of the SF-24, will have a lot to do given the high expectations of the fans, as a result of both the major aerodynamic package introduced this weekend and the fact that it will be the first race in Italy this season, with tens of thousands of tifosi expected to support the Maranello team as always. Finally, a consideration on the Charles Leclerc, Bryan Bozzi duo. We have already seen the Italian engineer in action during race weekends. Although he is very young, his leadership qualities are evident. This is precisely why the Maranello team have chosen him as the successor to the Spaniard, convinced that he is the right person to guide Charles Leclerc to further improvement. He has a playful and charismatic character with great attention to detail. He embodies a strong work culture and, above all, a great passion. Formula One, Bryan is ready, Charles is ready, and the fans are ready for the Imola Grand Prix. Looking back at the first major aero update, uncertainty is an inevitable part of Formula One, owing to the multitude of variables that determine performance. Both on and off track, small miscalculations can have a sizable and often unexpected effect. Over the last 2 years, correlation issues between the simulator and the track have been the demise of many teams, most notably Mercedes and Aston Martin. At Ferrari, however, there is confidence about the upgrades to the SF-24. Last week at Ferrari's private track in Fiorano, the Scuderia carried out their second permitted filming day of 2024. They strategically held this 200-kilometer session just before the Imola GP, collecting data and early information about their incoming update package. The second iteration of the SF-24, which will debut this weekend, features relatively big changes. Both visual changes to the side pods and unseen alterations to the floor are parts of the new and improved Ferrari. For Frédéric Vasseur's team, their approach to the season has been very clear. The first quarter of their Formula One 2024 racing campaign was dedicated to understanding a largely new aerodynamic baseline. Owing to their disappointing performance 12 months ago, the winter break was dedicated to producing a car with 95% new components. Therefore, bringing more upgrades or rushing improvements to Miami, as some outlets suggested, was not the priority in the early stages of the year. Instead, the technical team in Maranello worked diligently to collect enough data to confidently move forward with their season-long development. Heading into Imola for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, the Scuderia have satisfied the criteria they set for themselves. Critically, this year's Ferrari Challenger does not have any major limiting factors. The SF-24 is stronger on race day than in qualifying, behaving in a predictable way, essential for both development and driver performance. Moving forward, the Italian outfit looks to establish itself as a regular contender for pole position and race victory. This year's improved race pace and reduced tire degradation have come at a small price. Ferrari struggles more than it did previously to get temperature into its tires to operate at the ideal window in qualifying. At the Imola circuit in front of the fans, the Italian outfit hopes to extract more performance with both low and high fuel. Perhaps more importantly, they are confident their upgrades will improve the SF-24 by at least 0.3. Should they unlock this pace, regardless of whether they maximize their package in every session, they will be a greater threat to Red Bull and McLaren. Unlike in the recent past, the Maranello team brings their first major upgrades with quiet confidence.